Welcome back to Stab the Dragon Productions for episode number 135, Whiskey Comparison number 6. Usually I'm doing a tournament of Texas Rye whiskeys. In fact, that tournament's taken about a year, and it's going to go into next year for sure the way I'm doing it. But once in a while I like to do a random tasting or a random whiskey comparison. And so this is whiskey comparison number 6. I haven't done many of these, but it's where I just take, two whiskeys that aren't part of the rye tournament and compare them and say, which one do I like the best. This comparison is a little bit different because I'm trying to identify the source of a particular Texas whiskey that is sourced somewhere. And my research has not given me any conclusions to where it might be, even if it's technically there's a hint that it may be sourced here in Texas, but there's other hints that say it's sourced from Kentucky somewhere or Indiana even. The bottle doesn't say at all where it's distilled. It says produced in bottles by, right? So the two whiskeys that I'm looking at, and this is almost sacrilege, I know, but I've got my Blanton's Gold here, okay? Blanton's Gold is one of the premium bourbons. It's, one of my favorites. When I first opened it and sampled it, a friend of mine gave it to me, and we opened it that night. It's just amazing, okay? It's everything that everybody says it is, all right? But the other whiskey is a Texas whiskey, Texas bourbon, and it's called Iron Wolf. You can see I've got the last pour in my glass right now. And so before this goes away, because I don't know if I'll ever buy it again, although it's good, I really like it, I wanted to do a whiskey comparison or tasting of Iron Wolf. And to me, the flavor reminded me of Blanton's. And so I wanted to do a head-to-head competition here. Now what I've done is I've mixed the glasses up. Glass number 1 has Blanton's in it. Glass number 2 has Iron Wolf in it. And so the numbers are on a sticker on the bottom, so you'll be able to see that. But so what is about this whiskey? It's a high rye bourbon, and so is Blanton's, and so maybe that's part of it. The Iron Wolf is aged for about 5 years, and the Blanton's is 6 to 8. And when you look at them, I mean, they're very similar. I can't tell which is which from just looking at them. I can't even tell you which one's darker. They look almost identical to me. So I don't know. So that's what I'm doing this comparison for. But obviously there's a price difference. Okay. Blanton's, suggested retail price is $100. For gold, good luck with finding it for $100. I'm sure. I've never seen any Blanton's, and Blanton's has several grades. Gold is, I guess, maybe the highest grade. But I've never seen any in the wild. I've heard that here in Fort Worth there are some Blanton's available. I've got an associate from work who's got a family member who loves Blanton's, and she was able to find some somewhere. Maybe it was in Dallas, but I think it was here in Fort Worth. So I've never seen any of that on my own. Okay, the Iron Wolf is at all 3 of the major liquor stores here in Fort Worth. Total Wine, $44.99, Specs $39.99, and Goody Goody $39.99. I've had this bottle for about 4 years, I think. And so, it was getting down, so it may have already affected the flavor. I had some just the other day, and it was fine, I think. But, this is the last little bit from the bottle, so who knows, right? But, again, here on the bottle, Iron Wolf Ranch and Distillery. It says Gold Spirits, or Bold, I think it's Bold Spirits. Texas. I'm trying to read this embossing here. Texas Attitude, I think is what it's got. And this is a 90 proof bourbon. And so nowhere on here though does it say where it's distilled. Born in the Texas Hill Country, Iron Wolf Ranch and Distillery breeds premium spirits infused with unique local ingredients, all masterfully crafted to bring you and your pack the ultimate experience. Edgy and bold, wild and free, we bring you the best tastes of Texas with just the right amount of attitude. Produced and bottled by, I can't even read this, IWD Enterprises, LLC, Iron Wolf Ranch and Distillery, Spicewood, Texas. I think it's down the hill country. All right, so there's that. And then here's the Blanton's Gold Edition box. Well, people don't realize this. You know, they wonder why. First of all, this is a 700 milliliter bottle, not 750. And a lot of people wonder why they can't get it here. Blanton's is owned by the Japanese, so you know that's part of the problem there. But it's bottled by Blanton Distilling Company, Frankfort, Kentucky. But it's the Buffalo Trace Distillery, and trying to get. Okay, see, this is 51.5% alcohol by volume. So that's 103 proof. So there's a significant proof advantage here. So when I do this taste test, you know, that may give it away, and that may significantly affect. I mean, I'm expecting the Blantons to win. You know, so I just want to see if Iron Wolf tastes close enough to Blantons to where I can say, you know, maybe they got their stuff from Buffalo Trace Distillery. I don't know. All right, so let's get on with the nosing, because visually they look so much alike, I can't tell the difference. Okay, this has got a very strong nose immediately, very rich nose, which is odd. Normally my nose, which is almost useless, cannot smell bourbons. But I smelled that right away, and it smelled caramel, high rye, kind of a deep dark fruit flavor. That really surprised me. Normally I can't smell bourbons at all, so immediately just by smell I'm going to say that's the Blantons. As this one I can't smell as much, so I'm going to say this is the Iron Wolf. So as for that price difference, and that's where the age difference and the fact that the Iron Wolf, this is the dregs of the bottle here. So yeah, this one on my left definitely had the better nose, and I'm thinking that's Blanton's, which would be number one. Now I'm going to taste it. Yeah, the proof is there. That's, I'm going to say that's Blanton's. But you know, the high rye mash bill is there. I mean, it's got some rich tones to the taste. Dark fruit, caramel, maybe hints of tobacco, chocolate. So yeah, that's I'm gonna say that's definitely the Blantons. That's really, see, I prefer a high rye mash bill. I mean, that's just really good. All right, so I'm gonna go over to the one on my right. Not quite as strong of a burn but still it does have a nice little kick to it. And man, that's got a really nice finish. And if that's the Iron Wolf and that was the dregs of the bottle, that's still really good. Okay, for a $40 bottle versus a $100 bottle at the least, that's actually a very good quality comparison. I mean, the one on my right is pretty doggone good. I'm getting just a hint of maybe a grassiness. That the other one did not have. But that's got a nice finish. I mean, these are two. I mean, Iron Wolf is good. Now, let me try this one on my left again. You know, those are very similar. Dang. Those are surprisingly similar. Let me, I left my Topo Chico in the other room. Let me pause and go get that and cleanse my palate real quick. Okay, I'm back with my required Topo Chico. Trying to figure out, I'm pretty sure this one's going to be the blends. I'm just looking at the legs and the glass. The mouth feels pretty rich. And I'm getting just a hint of bitterness on the finish. Which is not unusual with a high rye mash bill. This one that I think is Iron Wolf. Its mouthfeel may be just a little bit less. So, but there's a similarity between those two. Dang. All right. I'm going to say that this one should have a number 1 on the bottom. It should be Blanton's. Oh my gosh. That is number 2. That's the Iron Wolf. This is the number 1, the Blanton's. Wow. Well, this is embarrassing. I just chose Iron Wolf over Blanton's. I really thought this was the better whiskey. Now, it was close. I mean, these are very similar whiskeys. But this is the $100 blends. More like $150, I'm sure. Well, there you have it. Iron Wolf rates very favorably with Blanton's. Now, my palate, my ability to discern flavors and figure out which is better whiskey, I mean, you can definitely call that into question. But I'm sitting here telling you that this Iron Wolf, the dregs of the bottle, this bottle that I've had for 4 years, that stuff is about as good as Blanton's, maybe better, for a third of the cost. Wow. Okay. Well, hey, this has ended up being an eye-opening experience, and I can see the relationship between the two. So I'm wondering if Iron Wolf sourced their bourbon from Buffalo Trace Distillery, the High Rye Mash Bill number 2. Okay, an embarrassing episode of Stab the Dragon out here.